This isn't life!
Oh, boys, have you seen? I was driving in Basildon today, and there's a new retail park. Do you know that? They're
Where is
building a
it?
new retail park. Yeah, it's called St Hilary's or something. Retail park.
Oh.
It's across the road from Pips Hill.
Because that's not Basildon,
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I think it's what it's
who's-
called.
Who
Well,
wants to
that'd be.
start?
No,
Who wants to start?
I think that should be the start, mate. To be honest, I'd like that little conversation in. Also, another thing I'd like to mention. I don't know if you boys know, but I quite enjoy these Fentimans colas.
yeah, you do.
I do like
Do
a
you see it?
Fenderman's.
Yeah, they're good, aren't
Never
they?
had one, but
Oh, mate.
Oh,
Well,
they're so nice.
Well, you say that. They would have blown your mind. They're great. They were. But they've actually changed the recipe. So
Have they?
It's now got a different type of like sugary goodness in it, which isn't sugary goodness. It's like glucose syrup rather than sugar cane, which is what they used to use. Apparently, that's according to Reddit forums on Fentiman new recipe. So a little bit disappointing, really. So if we can
That
get
is
a petition going to
disappointing.
bring back, our small amount of small amount of influence we might have, bring back sugarcane over glucose syrup.
so I've lost out
appreciate
then.
it.
I'll never know what it's like.
You'll
to
never
drink
know.
the
You'll
original.
never know the
know.
goodness, mate, because it's in all of them now. Yeah,
Shocking.
shame, really.
Two things I regret in my life now. That's never seeing Fall Out Boy when they've done Take This to Your Grave, and now not drinking one of them Pepsis without sugarcane in it.
It ain't a Pepsi, right? I already told you it's Coke.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Where'd you find this guy?
Honestly.
It's not Coke, it's cola.
Oh,
Is it?
really?
All right, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
And with that, last week, Josh, you gave the baton over to me, and
Oh, we go.
I'd done my weekly duty of finding a story. And do you know what I'm going to say? It's got a bit of everything.
Bit of everything. What do you mean?
Bit of
What do
everything.
you mean?
Well.
Explain yourself.
It has paranormal.
Nice.
It has
Ooh.
trauma.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant.
It
Maybe like
has.
a bit trauma.
Oh well, yeah.
Trawler? What, like
Trauma.
Like the boat.
Like a boat.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Deadliest Catch.
Yeah. It also has element of reptile.
Oh, sick. Sick.
Would you like
Yeah.
me to read you the headline?
Ideally, yeah.
Absolutely. This isn't life!
This podcast is sponsored by Dubby. Dubby was formulated to give you all the energies, all the focus, with no jitters or crash.
Yeah, I mean, we are talking no sugars, no calories, no maltodextrin, and no artificial colours.
You get 30 servings in every tub, and it comes in over 8 different flavours. But you know what else is sick about them? Their merch. T-shirts, hoodies and stickers, all on their website. Go check them out now.
And when you're on the website, type in "This Isn't Life" for 10% off your whole basket total.
This isn't life!
Exorcist says snarling possessed woman started glowing during exorcism.
Oh, see, I already know that this is going to be a good one. And I'm going to
Well-
have a lot to say.
Who do you reckon is the tabloid? Who has posted this dribble
that's,
this week?
That's the sport, isn't it?
You're very
Metro.
close. No.
The Sun.
No.
We don't listen to
Daily
the Sun.
Star. It's the Star.
It
Isn't
is the Daily
it?
Star.
Daily Star. Yeah.
So you know it's going to be
trash.
good.
You know it's going to be tat.
Oh,
Come on
yes.
in. Lay it on me, mate. Lay it on me. I want to hear
All
this.
right. Little sub bit, actually. Exorcist priest says number of requests for exorcism is rising. So they want to bring them back. That's what they're saying there.
That would
Bring it in,
coincide
yeah.
with that new film that's coming out with, it's out actually with Russell Crowe, The Pope's Exorcist. It's supposed to
Well-
be
Oh, yeah.
really good.
I actually think that's what this is coming towards.
Promotion
because-
of.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Do you want to know when this was
they've
posted?
ramped it up.
Yeah, I'll say this month.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
shorten it down?
I will say
The 13th.
the 14th I was going to go for.
Do you want me
Ooh.
to tell you?
No. I'll
No.
tell you when it was printed. It was printed, I'm going 10th.
In the 10th.
Mm.
Hold on, hold on. It's got to have some sort of biblical
you're-
connotation, isn't it?
So 6.
Is it?
666.
Oh yeah, 6. Yeah, 6 unlucky numbers or something like that.
13.
Want me to tell you?
Go on.
Go on in.
Breaking news, lads, today.
Oh,
Today.
what?
Insanity, that is.
Oh,
That
I
is
never knew that.
biblical.
So-
I never knew
So, are
that.
you saying that this Isn't
17th,
Life
yeah.
pod has got a exclusive? Would you say?
Exclusive breaking news.
Breaking news, everybody. Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du. That's my best impression of like a
No,
breaking
that was
news.
good. That was good.
If you can just sample that,
Beautiful.
Alex, we can pop that in.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Well,
We'll
17th,
see
it makes
about
sense,
that.
doesn't it? Because the 17th, I was born on the 17th of October, but the day carries over just as unlucky because, because
It
I'm
all links.
here. So,
It all links.
Well,
yeah, it all links.
should we get into it?
It all acts. It all acts, mate.
Let's start. So, an exorcist has recalled how he once saw a woman glowing after battling a demon to leave her body. Father Vincent Lampert, the chief
Mhm.
exorcist of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese,
Archdiocese.
thank you,
Jesus Christ.
come on.
Yeah, that is a hard one.
Yeah, it is quite hard.
That's
all
what the
bollocks
priest
anyway.
said. That's what the priest said to the child.
Well, after they pulled the priest off the child.
Yeah.
So it's the Archdiocese of Indianapolis in the USA, having had the role approved by the Pope in 1991. And since then, he has performed countless exorcisms, although his official training lasted just 3 months and saw him take part in around 40 of the demonic events. Having been performing in his own right for decades, he has gone into detail of some of the most horrific experiences he has seen with his own eyes.
Well,
How did he
you
battle
know-
him? Was it Beyblades or what?
No, he was just sitting there, pint with his mate battling his demons, isn't it?
But yeah.
Yeah,
Did
just
you
talk to me,
know
mate. Just talk to me, mate. Just talk to
today,
me.
to very day,
Trust me.
even stranger, that I listened to a podcast about the Pope's Exorcist today.
Oh yeah.
And did you know there are over 7,000 exorcisms done every year in Italy alone?
Illegally? Is
No,
that
no.
because...
So these are the ones that are passed to, because obviously it has to be approved
Sanctioned by the
by
Vatican.
the upper echelon of the Vatican. Essentially, the Pope. I don't think he probably does get involved, but it's supposed to go to him. There's 7,000 on average every year.
I think he's CC'd in the email. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just goes, yeah, whatever, doesn't he? Like, just
Yeah.
get on with it. That's
Gets
what
his
we're here
PA
for,
to sort
guys,
it,
I
doesn't he?
suppose. Yeah, that's what we're here for, isn't it? Battling demons, I suppose. Good versus evil and all that. As
Very
he's
true.
sucking on the lifeblood of many, many unborn fetuses.
Yeah.
Many.
Many.
But yes. I like this one. I I'm
yeah, I mean,
excited.
Many questions I need to ask, but I don't even know where
Okay.
to start.
I'll read the next bit, and we'll do a
Okay.
question. We'll do a question round, shall we?
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm not going to name the podcast just because I don't want to give them a shout out. Competition, it's competition. They're a Catholic podcast.
Sus or no one, mate.
Oh, see, well, straight away. Like, if we haven't got more listeners than them, then I'm giving up.
Well, there you go. Anyway, but
Well, they've got God, haven't they? They've got God on their side.
Yeah,
That's not fair on
that's
us.
true. That's
We need
true.
to find a bigger person, like maybe, I don't know, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He's probably up there, isn't he?
He's probably the
quite big.
biggest, I'd say.
He's probably the biggest one, isn't he? Yeah. So if we can get him on our side, then I think we're pretty much even.
Oh, there you go.
Go on, mate.
So I'm not going to name the podcast because they're competition. But the priest recalled a story of a woman who had a horrific experience as a child involving sexual and physical abuse. So there's your trauma.
What with the ghost?
By the hands of the priest?
Probably.
Well, maybe. Doesn't say who.
Oh God, this child needs to be exercised. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her. Like he's all over her, like on the bed, like.
Father, get your finger out of her!
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, honestly. Go on, sorry.
Yeah. Years later, the woman decided to return to church, having not been since her childhood, and was spoken to by a church pastor. The encounter proved so terrifying that the pastor enlisted for help of Father Lampert, claiming the woman had been possessed. When he first met her, after a long chat with a woman,
Pasta was done al dente.
Yeah, al dente pasta. When he first met her, after a long chat with the woman, she asked if she would if he would help her, to which he replied, "Jesus is going to help you." He
Oh,
said,
God.
and that is when the demon manifested. The person's eye turned green, and her pupils turned slanted like a serpent.
Yeah.
So she was turned down by the vicar, was it? He basically went, look, we've got a lot of applications at the moment for mental cases. Do you mind if we just pass this one straight on to Jesus? He was the man. He was the GP in at the time, so he was like, right, we'll get Jesus on the case.
He might have gone, how bad is it? She's gone, well, out of 10. He's like, yeah. She's like, well, it's 11. He's like, well, we'll get the big man involved. We'll get the big man involved today then. That seems a little bit out of my pay bracket, that, to be honest with you. Is there going to be any violent attacks or like sick? Yeah. Well, then no.
Yeah.
Then no.
He starts like speaking backwards and climbing up the walls, and he's just going,
I'm out.
Excuse me, Jesus, are you in? Are you there? Can you handle this one, please?
Do you know what though? I'll be honest. Even though I do believe that stuff like that happens, that would actually be my worst nightmare. More so than anything else, if I had to be in a room with someone, if it was a thing, like if someone was acting like that, you know how not so much climbing up the wall, but you know when they're like their voice changes and they like, that is like that's my ultimate fear. Yeah, speaking in Latin or in tongues, that's like my ultimate fear. You know, they look all f***ed up as well. Like that is like my biggest horror movie fear.
What's the scariest film you've seen then? I mean, I'll be honest and say I think like the scariest type of films for me either involve like not monsters or anything, unless they're like humanoid monsters.
Yeah, no, not monsters.
I mean, like paranormal stuff, like Insidious. That was a.
I can't even watch.
Have you seen it at all?
No, I won't even watch it. I won't even watch anything like that where it's like possessions or anything where it possesses kids or anything like that. I'd probably go and say, still, the scariest film to this day, even though I've seen it multiple times, I would say is The Exorcist. Just because at the time, because of how groundbreaking it was, and because there's not so much special effects in it, and I've seen how it's been made, and I've watched documentary on how it was made, it makes it scarier. That girl was really that age, and she was that good of an actress, and I don't know who directed it, but like that's phenomenal cinema. There's no point. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's not really a point in asking me that question because I love it.
You love
I love horror.
Yeah, you're a weirdo.
But
there must be one that's like If
I had to put it down to one that always stuck in my mind, not the film because the film's rubbish. It's okay. I say not the film. It's films with girls with long hair, i.e., The Ring. Or
The Grudge.
The Grudge.
Oh, yeah.
That is scary, actually. Yeah.
Is it the
wet look? Is it the wet look you don't like when they're going to come out of the water? Because I find that really creepy.
The Ring. Yeah, go on. I mean, yeah. Sorry, mate. Go on. I was going to say something about The Grudge.
It's just I think it's the hair and the eyes poking through the hair.
Yeah, you can't see the face.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean?
But again,
I thought like The Grudge, the problem, what made it so scary was the way she moved and stuff.
Yeah. And
do you know what?
And she always got to you, doesn't matter how slow she was going. Like she was crawling on all fours, all this.
Will, you have hit the nail on the head there. That's what else I can't stand. You know when they can talk and they there's a film that's not even a horror film, but it's one of the most harrowing scenes I think I've ever seen, and it always plays on my mind. Like every now and again when I see it, there's a film, and it's about demons coming down from hell, and there's already an angel on earth, and he tries to warn the world about
Constantine.
No.
Constantine fights demons. This guy's an angel. Constantine weren't an angel, was he? He died and then come back. But this guy's an actual angel, and the devil's going to attack Earth. Basically, it's quite a big film, and there's a scene in it where he's in a diner and there's an old woman, proper old, you know, them creepy.
Oh, Legion! Is it Legion?
Legion. And she stands up and she calls him a and the meat is like all red and it's bleeding, and she goes,
and just
"You're gonna burn."
Eats it like raw, doesn't it? Yeah.
And then she crawls, she crawls up the wall like but backwards, and I was like, that to me, when they can talk, is easily the most harrowing thing. It's things like that I can't stand.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's the same with Silent Hill. Do you remember Silent Hill?
Yes.
And there's all those nurses with the and then they get, I don't know if they have to be really quiet, and one of them makes a noise, and they've got like straight rays, and they're just swinging around and cutting each other with.
And there's one that's covered in barbed wire in there as well that comes out of the toilet, and she's all like,
Yeah,
Well,
all
yeah,
that
it's- yeah,
You
it's
talking
gross.
about Silent Hill? There's a new Silent Hill game coming out.
Ooh. There wasn't much of a
Um,
gamer of it because it was too complicated and
No,
scary. But...
there's a game and a new film, I believe.
I watched the film. The film was
I
good.
I
believe
watched the
it's-
film. Yeah, I don't know about playing a game though.
Do you know what the maddest? Not to digress any further, but do you know what the maddest scene of that whole film was? You know that triangle head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He picks up a woman and pulls her
And just
skin
rips
off.
her skin off. Yeah,
Like that
it's
is, but like
fucking crazy, isn't it?
it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary
Yeah.
as well. Like, and I was
I
like,
need to
that's
rewatch that film because I can't even remember like why he done that. Like,
because he's just on a warpath, isn't he?
Yeah.
And she was like, she happened to just get caught up in it.
I think she was like a certain person.
No, wasn't
Oh,
she a
no, yeah.
cultist?
Yeah, she was. One of
Yeah,
the
she
people
was,
that
but she was
lives there.
running out of like a church or something, and he's just
Yeah.
there and he just picks her up and
Yeah,
basically, just ripped the whole.
It
lot
was
off.
so unnecessary. He ripped her off
Yeah.
like I don't know, like
Rip off her
I'm trying to think of an
plaster.
example. Like you pull the
Yogurt pot lid.
It's like
yeah,
it's like
perfect.
taking a like a like cars have like a thing over them, and people go, like old cars and stuff, like a sheet,
a dust sheet.
It's a dust, yeah, dust sheet.
Yeah.
Imagine like that, just all at once, just pull it off
Yeah,
all
it
at
was-
once. That's
it
what
was-
it's like.
But he just pinched her like it was like he
Yeah.
was pinching the top of
Yeah,
her
he
throat.
just
It was like a magician with a plate
didn't
full
he
of
grab her
with a
by the
table full
tit?
of cutlery,
Yes.
just pulling the tablecloth off.
That was
Didn't
so,
he
I'm
grab
so
her by the
glad.
tit as well?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Grab him by the chest. I'm so glad that you remember that because I thought for a long time that I just dreamt that up. And
I remember
thought
Alex
that
telling me about that, and I was like, "No way."
Yeah, it
That's
was, it was
rank.
so messed up. Sorry, Alex.
Yeah.
That's all right. I can continue.
Where were we? We didn't
Um,
even really talk about the article,
Well,
did we?
we didn't, but I'll tell you what. I'll go through this bit, and then we can talk questions. We can
All right. Yeah.
we could dive into it a bit more. Do you guys want a voice?
No, I feel like you ruin it.
Yeah, I think I would as well.
Yeah, don't ever
Right.
suggest things like that again.
No, I shouldn't really, should I? According to the expert, the demon then said, "Who's he? He has no power of us." He then put
Ooh.
holy water on her head, which supposedly caused the demon-infested woman to drop to the floor and start whimpering. A week
Yeah.
later, the priest decided to perform an actual exorcism. The woman who was sitting strapped to a chair in the middle of a building was blessed with holy water, which forced the demon to come out. It taunted the priest and said, "You can't get rid of us. We've been here too long and you're not strong enough." According to Lampert, the demon woman then started growling and snarling before he breathed onto the woman.
Okay. That's fairly standard amongst when you listen to anything like this. He's got whoever's wrote this is if they're lying has got it down pretty well.
Well, this is, I think, the priest saying this happened on this podcast, and they've taken it from that.
I mean, okay, can I just ask both your opinions? Like, do you like as much as I don't believe in religion? This is probably quite contradictory, but it won't be when I'll tell you why. Even though I don't believe in religion, obviously, how can I believe that they've been possessed by essentially what is the opposite of heaven, like a demon from hell, essentially? I think it does happen. I don't think they're demons that we think. We associate are demons like from hell and they like the Exorcist type thing. I think they're from another plane or another dimension or another something more
Maybe.
scientific than, if you can call it scientific, more scientific than heaven and hell. I think that's what, do you know what I mean? They may be caught in between planes or it's something from a different dimension that we can't access. But yeah, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you believe you can be possessed by something? No, I'm not saying a ghoul or a spirit. Can you be possessed by whether it be something from another dimension?
Yes.
Like, I 100%
because
Did you just say purgatory?
I said purgatory because he was trying to
Do you
explain
know the Catholic
something.
Church? They like the idea of limbo. They said a little while ago that was like there's actually no real destination for souls that haven't been judged.
Oh.
That's what came from the Catholic Church. So
So we just wonder.
so all of that shit was just bollocks. Yeah, it's just bullshit.
Fair enough. Well, going back to your question, Josh. Yes, yes, I do. think
Yeah,
you
I
can be
do.
possessed by something.
Because
I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why. Will, because Josh wasn't talking about ghouls or demons. He said
No.
that you can be hypnotized. Is that not the same thing? Is that not
maybe
very similar?
Yeah, maybe.
It's not a possession, though, is it?
Well, yeah, because
No,
he's in possession of your mind, basically, isn't he? He's making you do things that you wouldn't normally do. He's
Yeah, it's a trick
making
of the
you his
mind.
possession,
It's a trick of the mind.
isn't he?
I don't know, though. I don't know the
you're under his
extent
control.
of
But, like,
hypnosis or if it even
how,
works. I don't even know.
how do you
But
have you heard? You must have seen documentaries and stuff, or I have, or podcasts where they've got actual recordings of and these are legit recordings of possessions that have been done previously.
Yeah,
And they, when they say they make a guttural noise or their voice
Yeah.
changes, how can an 8-year-old girl, and these are legit tapes as well, these are not doctors or whatever. I know they're from the 80s or whatever, but these voices are totally, they might put on 6 different voices from
yeah, but
one
it
little
could be
girl.
someone
How
with,
could
Have
you do
you
that?
right?
split
Because
personalities. Like people with
no,
different
but
personalities change their voice depending on the personality
does.
that's
not even
You're
that.
right.
in
Not
the
even
foreground
that.
at the time.
No, you're
So
right.
there's-
You are right.
I
There's
think
answers to
all
your
this
question.
stuff, like, I mean, it goes back to that old adage, doesn't it? How can you prove it? That there's any basis for
can't.
believing in this stuff?
No, you
That's what
can't.
I
No, you
mean.
can't. That's the thing. But
Well, there is an
Go on.
answer to your question. That little
Okay.
girls changing their voice in possession.
Go on.
Everyone's heard of the Enfield haunting, the Enfield poltergeist. I
Yep.
think even not Cloverfield, The Conjuring done their second film about
yeah,
it.
that was
Yeah,
covered
did,
by
yeah.
the couple, wasn't it?
Ed
The
and
famous
Lorraine
couple.
Warren, wasn't it?
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, the Warrens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they found out, I don't know if you know the extent of it, that yes, there was some paranormal stuff going on, but the 2 girls actually made a lot of it up.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Her voice was also made up most of the time. When it
Really?
changes, and you can hear the recordings online, you just go on YouTube, type in the recordings, and you hear them, and she's putting it on half the time.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. How do they then? I'm not fighting against it. I agree with you. That was made up, and obviously it can be done. But how do they then, when it happens, when they start speaking a totally different language, like Latin?
Yeah,
And
that's
you can't tell me an
odd.
8-year-old girl knows Latin. That's not
That
there's
is
no
odd.
way because you don't even teach that really anymore
Do
unless you
they-
go to
do-
a Tory school.
Are there these cases? I don't know how to answer that really, but I want to know: are these cases like where they speak, like traditionally? It's invariably always Latin or some sort of
Well,
lost
it's
language.
the dead language, isn't it, Latin? That's why.
Yeah, it's always one of those, and it happens to be like, well, Catholicism. I don't even know where it started, but was it the Roman Empire or something? So around Italy and all
Yeah.
that. When they spoke, it's the heritage of Italy and areas around there.
And
they
it's
speak
quite a
Latin, they speak
menacing.
Latin.
It's quite a menacing sounding because we don't understand it or don't hear it often. It's quite menacing. You know how German's really aggressive. I
Yeah,
feel like
it's
it's
got a
quite a
certain
menacing
tone to it.
language. Yeah, like the way words are
it's-
said.
Yeah, but I think
It's
if
just
the
odd,
demonic
like that they.
presence, if a demonic presence was Swedish, you wouldn't go right. Would
No,
it?
no, that's
Well,
what I'm
that's the
saying.
thing. That's what
I'm saying.
Would if you went as far away from there as possible, or
It's like
let's
Africa, for example.
let's say Sweden,
Hmm.
somewhere far away. It doesn't, you wouldn't think anyone there would be speaking
Latin.
Latin or whatever. And do they have things that happen like this where
They
they
speak. Yeah.
speak Latin? That would be more
Yeah.
interesting to find out. But if they're speaking Latin in a country that already once spoke Latin, that even if you go to
Of course.
places
course.
Spain conquered, when they did the Crusades and went all the way across the Americas, you think, well,
Or if it's in Rome,
there's
for
a
example.
heritage. Yeah, there's a heritage of these people speaking this language somewhere along the line. So,
I mean,
it just takes away from the credence of the idea that it's all paranormal, supernatural.
I agree. Have you just not to carry on, but have you seen the most compelling case I've ever seen? Is I think they even might have made a film of it. I think she was a French girl or German girl, Emily
Rose.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't Emily Rose,
the-
but this is probably the most famous exorcism story. And there's pictures of her, and she was like, she looked how they looked in The Exorcist. I'm not gonna lie. I know you can get mentally ill when you can be if you're mistreated or whatever, or if you're just left to your own devices. But she was like bone thin. She had cuts all over her face. She'd like often. I
Yeah.
know it's a lot of it sounds like mental health because it was obviously in like I think it was in the 1800s. Was it late 1800s? I don't think it was even in the
Oh,
1900s.
well, it's not Emily Rose then, because
No,
That
it's
was
a
like
really,
modern day, wasn't it?
but it's a really no. This is a really famous one. And she would like wee on the floor and then like drink it. She'd eat bugs off the table, but speak
Yeah.
she
in
might have
different
been
voices.
schizophrenic, and we didn't know
Yeah,
back then.
but
That's
yeah,
the thing. Yeah.
exactly,
That's the thing.
exactly. But it's still when you see the pictures, it's harrowing. It's
Mm.
harrowing. Like it's like almost she
Yeah.
looks like an Auschwitz survivor. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
horrendous.
All gaunt
Well,
and yeah, that's
yeah.
terrible.
Well, there's a little bit more.
Go on, sorry.
Go on.
So I'll read on. So he said about the breathing, and that is done to act as if you are invoking the Holy Spirit. And as it was at the moment, the priest saw one of the most terrifying things he had ever seen. He recalled, I breathed on the face of this person just very lightly, and as I did that, the chair flew back and hit the wall. There was a shriek and a scream, and the woman comes flying out of the chair and collapses onto the floor. She was literally glowing, and there was a beam around her. It was like a saint. She was not radiating her glow because it was the glory of God. The eyes were gone, and she began to glorify God. When a demon has
She
truly
wasn't
been
sitting on a light
cast,
bulb, was she?
yeah. When a demon has truly been cast out of a person, when a demon has been truly cast out, the person literally begins to glow because they are no longer in the real of the devil. They are in the realm. Oh, okay, they've left off the M.
Told ya.
Terrible worded. Terribly worded. They are no longer in the realm of the devil. They are in the realm of the Holy Spirit.
Realm. See, I think they're not talking about. I think the biblical and all that have got it wrong, or I think we've misinterpreted it. I don't think it was ever about angels, and that I think angels were maybe beings from another dimension, maybe aliens. That's what I think anyway. It's weird that they've chose to use the word realm. I know it's not the most reputable of writing, but I think that's a weird term they've used.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot to do with realms.
There is something just underneath one of the stock images. Going back to Russell Crowe's film, it says here, Exorcist slams Russell Crowe's Pope Demon Slayer film as unreliable splatter cinema. So it's obviously come out for the film.
Yeah.
Of course. Because
Always
I've heard it's really
ulterior
accurate.
motive.
Yeah. Okay. I think with that said, I think we've actually delved into quite a lot of the demonic possession and exorcism thing. Will, I'm going to give it to you. What's your?
You want to call it now?
Yeah, I think we should call it now. To be honest, there's not much more.
There's no more to the story, no?
There's no more. There's no more.
So, can I ask you a question then?
Okay.
What do you think happens to said entity when it leaves the body?
Goes back.
Does it go? Does it? Well,
If
when it's not hell, does it go back to like its realm,
no
or does it? What did it go back to its realm, or how did
what's
it get?
its realm? Hell, isn't it?
Well,
It's
yeah,
a demon.
if you want to call
Demons
it that,
come from hell.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's no such thing as demon in hell. I'm saying it's another entity from another realm. I'm not saying hell.
It goes back to where it come from, isn't it?
It could be Basildon, couldn't it?
Go back from whence it
demons there, mate.
Do you know what I mean? They'll congregate in Langdon. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, well, it goes back to where it
Tyler
comes from.
Park?
Just comes back to where it's come from because it's failed its mission from the master.
But what's the mission? Because once the host dies, what then?
Rule. It's a rule, isn't it?
Yeah, but once the host dies, because they never let the host is never like super strong where it like there was an exorcism and it tore apart 6 people like limb from limb. It's always like it gets beaten by water and a load of shouting about God, and that's so it ain't that hard, is it?
Gets into a portal and then goes home. It's like,
well, take it
try
this
again.
way, right? So take it this way. Take it this way. If God and the devil existed, right? So say there was a heaven and hell and stuff, yeah. Just say hypothetically. Not Jesus, the priests, the Pope, stuff like that. They're his army. Yeah.
Yeah.
These demons that are possessing people are the devil's army.
Yeah, in theory, yeah.
So this priest that's performing this exorcism to get rid of the demon is just fighting a battle. Now, when you say, oh yeah, well, why are they here? Because the demon wants to rule Earth, but obviously God rules Earth. And let's be honest, God does rule Earth. No matter what your God is,
Do
or
you
who
not think
your
the
God
devil?
is.
Do you think it's far more likely
Where'd you
that
get that
evil
from?
rules this earth?
What do you mean? Where
Do
do I
you,
get that from?
hold on. Do you not think
you
it's?
talking literally
on.
now?
No, I'm not. No.
Do you
Oh,
think
okay.
it's? Do you think it's not far more likely that if anything runs this earth, it's evil? With all the shit that goes on, I'm pretty sure that war was lost a long time ago.
Well, no, I think if you
'Cause
want to
if
talk in
it-
a literal sense, then God still rules because we
If
wouldn't
this
have a
is
law.
the best God can conjure up, he can off.
No,
in all
no,
honesty.
it's the human race, right? This is if the God was real and stuff like that. It's the human race sitting there saying, "Oh, well, God told us to do this," but then twisting the words. You know, we've only got a police force and a police system and a justice system due to religion,
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But we've
Mhm.
twisted it to fit to suit us.
I don't know where you're coming from here. Are you talking still hypothetically, or are you like, do you?
Well, I was, but then obviously Josh went into literal sense. But it works
Well,
both ways, doesn't it?
So you think there was a God?
No, I think Jesus was a magician and or like an illusionist, the first ever one. He was basically dynamo. Because
Might
why
not
would
have
you
been the
walk on
first
water
one.
when you got a boat? Why would you? You don't need to. You're just doing it. You're showing off.
Yeah, he was a bit of a show off.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's all it
Yeah.
is.
he was well known for being a show off, Jesus, as it goes.
I reckon he made his thumb disappear to a load of kids to make them laugh.
Yeah.
And Chinese
check this
whispers
one
has
out.
happened. You seen this? He's turned water into wine. You know, or Geezer gets back. Joseph gets
No.
back from the old boozer, doesn't he? Right? God, his missus goes, "Oh, you're battered, you are. You've got absolutely black." Well, that Jesus. I just wanted a glass of water. That
Yeah.
that's sod.
Gave
you
me
know?
wine. Didn't even
Yeah.
give me enough bread. Just gave me
Yeah.
wine.
That's
give me
how
any
he lured.
bread.
That's how he lured the neighbourhood kids into his
Yeah.
grotto by
Yeah.
giving them water wine.
Yeah. What's that, Mary? You're pregnant, but we haven't had sex yet. You're a virgin. Yeah, I know, mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mental.
must have been your old man got involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
That's mad.
So-
That is mad.
There you go.
well,
It's an
yeah,
interesting.
so-
It is an interesting topic, though. Religion. I do find it interesting. I don't believe in it, but you know,
I'll talk about it all day.
first. It was our first, and I think therefore our worst attempt at understanding the world around us.
Yes.
And it does definitely have a place in this world, I think, because I believe in religious pluralism, and everyone has the right to believe what they want. Otherwise, we'd be living in a dictatorship.
It's just
So-
it's just the seedy shit they do, Will. It's the thing I can't
Yeah, I
look
know.
past.
But yeah,
The-
well,
the-
when they're
do
like
you know
they
what I
rush
mean?
past you, I'm on a mission from God. It's like, and they try and make you think that, like that in itself, that you know.
What, like
people-
when they're
people-
just like
pe-
push in front of you
people
and stuff?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm on a
yeah.
mission from God. Sorry, this
you
is
know
my
the type
train.
I mean. You know the type
It's
I
my
mean.
cab. It's
You
my
know the
cab.
type
It's
I
God's
mean.
will that I get in this cab. Do you know what I
I'm-
mean?
No, they don't necessarily need to say that, but it's sort of implicit. It's implied.
Yeah, I know.
that
I know.
that
I know what you mean.
religious people are like humble. And it's like, how is that even humble? It's like, no,
Yeah.
excuse me, I'm just pushing
Mm.
past you because I'm on a mission from God.
Yeah, do you know who my boss
No,
is?
they don't
You
have
got
to
any
say
idea?
that, but they might have. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you
Look,
know
I've
what I
got to
work
get these.
for?
I've got to get these things delivered because, you know, if I don't, I'm going to be.
Smiting.
I'm going to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
smited
and
down.
you know what he's like. They're giving you like a
Torn
wink and a
asunder.
nudge, like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
your boss is bad." Like, I farted the other day, and I've just got to spend 3,000 years in damnation. Like.
I think technically, if you read the Bible, there's a point where because you're not allowed to like, you basically can't even have a shit.
Yeah, it is horrendous. Like when
It's
when-
ridiculous.
do you know what the worst one is? Like, there's ones where I don't know what part of whether it's Christianity or Catholic, I'm not sure, but isn't there one? I think it was in the film Da Vinci Code where they're so extreme that every step they take, they have to like whip their back or something like that. It's fucking nuts.
Oh
like,
no, that's
and they wear them belts around their leg to like because it's
that
supposed.
is a
that's
religion.
nuts.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
that's
like
nuts.
it's not Judas. It's not it's not a Jehovah's
Judas
Witness.
Priest.
Judas Priest. It's not.
Out of work and down.
it's. I can't think of what it is, but that is a that is a
Whether I
religion.
live or die. Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Will, can I have your verdict, please?
Oh blimey. What are What are we doing? Is this life or is it not life? Well, I mean, it's pretty obviously a promotional tool, isn't it? To get people talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
'Cause
I've got to
everyone likes
agree.
reading a piece about a load of shit, load
But
of
that makes me
bullshit.
sad.
Load of
That makes
hearsay.
me sad.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing this film because it's got Russell Crowe in,
Yeah, I
and
wanna see it.
I quite like a horror film to do with the paranormal.
Mm.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe we should all go and watch it,
but
even though I scare me shitless.
yeah, we should go and watch it, mate. I don't know though. Is it? No, I'm gonna say this isn't life. To be honest,
Okay,
Mm.
it's fair play.
just based on it, it's all very convenient, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't believe in this stuff anyway, but it's all just very convenient because of the new film. So
Yeah, fair play. Josh?
I'm going to agree with Will. I do believe in it, some parts of it, but what ruined it for me was obviously the timing of it. Like it couldn't have. They've done it to sell papers. They've done it to some. I don't know why. They probably don't just sell papers, but they've sort
just
of
get some online.
Yeah,
online
like yeah,
following or
I just
something
think
with a
yeah
boost.
that if that had come out 5 years ago, yeah, I probably believed it a bit more. But
Yeah,
no, this time I'm going for no. This isn't life, unfortunately.
if it was some real investigative journalism, then I'd be like, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting to find out about this stuff, and like it's got like a almost like a legendary mystic following, isn't it? Like all that stuff to do with paranormal and exorcists who like fight off demons and stuff. You think, oh, that's really interesting.
Here's
And
a
you get
question
to it,
for
and
you,
it's just
Will.
like, oh, it's a load of bollocks.
What do
Yeah.
you believe is more likely? Right, you're a man of science. You're a man of probability, and what do you think is more likely if you had to gun to your head? If you had to pick one, aliens of like the whole alien thing, like they've come down, they've been here, like blah blah blah, or people who can be possessed by. I'm not saying demons. I'm saying something from another realm, like another entity.
Aliens.
Okay, fair enough.
That'd be definitely
Fair
more
enough.
likely. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
mean,
like that.
I think they are 100%. It's almost like it just does. It almost seems like impossible to me that there's not something else out there, considering like the flourishing of life on this planet.
Yeah.
And we know there's other planets like ours in the universe. So it's just, but whether they're here or not is
It's the question. Right.
skeptical
Okay.
about that.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Alex.
Fair play. It's a hat trick.
Oh, hat trick of negativity.
Patrick,
Yeah.
this place.
Why don't I believe it? Pretty much the same sort of points. It's the wrong timing. It's something that I don't believe in.
Okay.
And I think it's there, like you say, to sell papers and boost maybe the film a little bit.
Boost some
But-
sales, yeah.
But I don't disbelieve that he is.
He believes it.
He believes it
Yeah, I believe
Oh,
that he
because
okay.
believes
of
it.
his religion, because of who he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe that he believes it, but whether or not it's true or not in the,
I
truest
mean,
sense
it
of the
did
word.
come from a podcast, didn't it? So I keep forgetting that he's actually said this. Like he's not like this has not been written down and someone's interviewed him. He's actually said this on probably the podcast. I guess in the Christian community is probably quite reputable for him to be on there.
Yeah.
That's actually quite that does change things slightly because what we're saying is now we don't believe him.
I don't
We
believe
don't believe
believe
him.
in the
But then
whole
why?
thing.
Yeah.
But why would he do it if he's an actual man of the cloth, right? And I think you're probably
Touching
playing a
cloth.
little bit of a dangerous stunt if you claim to be like a cardinal or archbishop,
was thinking.
because obviously to do these kind of things you have to be relatively good at your job. You don't just get given to like the parish in Billericay. He can't just perform exorcisms. You have to be quite good, or your name has to be about there. So
Yeah.
to go on a podcast and put your name and then the whole chain of command, so the whole Vatican on blast, and say something as ludicrous as that without it being true, I think you'd be in a bit of trouble. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I think you would be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
That's like
You
bringing your
spanked me,
company into bringing your company into like disrepute. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like an Amazon worker going, "Oh, they treat us terribly."
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Or
But they must be used to it now because people I mean, all
Yeah,
the
they probably
shit
don't
that the
care.
Vatican actually have to deal with, like
Yeah,
paedophile
the
priests
stuff
and
that
stuff,
actually
probably go,
happens, like
"Oh, you're not a believer anymore. Oh, look, we'll still pay you if you just, if you look like you're doing the job all right. If you
that's
can
true. That's true.
sell a couple of
Yeah,
articles
fair
or
enough.
something,
Yeah, that's the
Mm.
They're
tip of
too
the
busy trying to
iceberg.
get rid of nonces in the church. Well, actually, they're too busy trying to hide them in different
Too busy
places.
trying to keep them in the church.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
actually,
Trying to
before
recruit
we,
'em.
boys, really
Yeah.
good. Forgot to say at the beginning. Ties into this perfectly.
Go on.
And for anyone listening, Netflix new series is Belgian, right? But it's because it's not so much of a harsh language, you can't really tell it's dubbed. You can at points, but it's not so bad. It's like a Japanese one. It is about, it's like a murder investigation type Luther type thing, but the it's about a child killer, but he's actually basically he's a child killer back in the day. He killed like 11 kids, done his time, come out, and now he's works in a monastery as a he's like a man of the cloth. But then
Jesus.
but then he starts getting the urges again, and then the
Oh.
copper, loads of girls have gone missing, and a copper uses him a bit like Hannibal to like help. But then he starts looking at kids again, so then she has to like do both. It's
Right.
Wow.
I'll tell you what it's called. It's
That's cool.
honestly, it's one of the best things I've seen in a very, very long time. And the Rotten Tomatoes score is extremely high as well. It's like one of them foreign ones that like went under the
Really?
radar.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
called, I'll tell you right now, and for anyone listening, it is called Public Enemy: Book of Revelation.
Okay.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
really good. It's really good.
Oh,
I'll be interested
I like stuff like that.
Well,
interested
that
to hear
sounds
your
good.
thoughts about it next week.
Yeah,
If-
I won't have time to do it for next week, but I will definitely give it a go because it sounds very, very good.
It's very good.
Have you seen that was it it's an Apple original TV show. It's one series. It's called Blackbird. I think it's called Blackbird.
No, I've heard of it though.
No.
And it's got the guy from Kingsman in. The main guy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I like him.
That's not it.
Egerton.
Is it Egerton? Yeah.
Daniel
Edgerton or something?
Egerton? Is it Daniel
No, I
Egerton?
can't remember his name.
Plays Eddie
can't
the
remember his-
Eagle, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
But yeah,
Daniel
that's
Egerton? Yeah.
no, I can't remember
No?
his name. No, I don't think so. I'm thinking Joel Edgerton, but that's the guy in Warrior. The one with Tom Hardy.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick of him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll give that a go then.
Yeah.
I need to watch it, but that's like he's like the main guy is like a in like organised crime. He gets caught, put in jail for like 10 years or whatever, and he goes to his dad, "Oh, what can I do to get out?" And he speaks to someone like in the FBI, and like, "We need you to go into the maximum security for the criminally insane. Speak to this
Oh my god.
guy who's been convicted of killing one person, but he's going on to parole, I think."
Right.
And he's got to extract a confession from him. But it
That
looks
sounds
it looks
quality.
really good. Yeah, I think it's
That-
based on a true story as well.
Oh wow.
And what's
So
that
he'll
on?
on that altar. That's
TV.
Apple TV. Yeah, Apple TV.
I'll give you.
That sounds
But it's
quality.
terrifying. Like the guy, the serial killer guy, is terrifying. He's like, speaks in a really high voice. Like,
Oh, he's one of them.
"I think you're in danger.
They've cast him perfectly.
You're
That's
in
like
danger."
that's like the guy on this thing. He looks like a
Really
fucking
scary.
serial killer. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
Well-
they just got the look, haven't they?
Well, boys,
Yeah.
with that said and done,
Yeah, let's wrap
I
this
am
up.
passing the baton on to Will.
Oh, run with it, Will.
I'm sure I think I've already got a good one, to be honest.
Good.
Nice.
Good.
I enjoyed that one.
I've been looking at a bit more at Reddit recently. Reddit. So I might
sources.
find something on there. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
uh,
I'm looking
deeper
forward
down
to
the
it.
rabbit hole.
All right.
All right, boys.
Well,
All right.
see
Excellent
you all
one.
later.
Well done. Take care.
Yeah, man. Yeah, see you later, boys.
Bye.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Bye now.